Yeah, light source engraving. We in the house, yo. Put your glasses on, it's about to glow. Laser beam sharp, cutting through the night. Welcome to the show where we do it right. We're the craftsmen, dreamers in the lab with precision, carving out designs with a perfect vision. From wood to metal, etching so essential. Art and technology, potential exponential. Website shining, but beacon in the dark. Lightsource.pro, where you leave your mark. Projects on display, creativity spark. Our ratings are going off the chart. Got a vision in your mind, we bring it to reality. From custom jigs to vocal sticks and tables for your rotary. All with the precision of Swiss clockwork. 3D printers bringing to help complete your work. Burn to learn, share far and wide. Lights us engraving, we're not gonna hide. YouTube videos to epic live streams. Crafting with lasers, helping fulfill dreams. From files to accessories, our work is supreme. At Light Source Engraving, we're the undisputed king. Check our channel, see the lasers dart, pay close attention. Catch every glance with tips and tricks. Learn something every day, crafting new stories in a spectacular way. We the kings of flame, catch anything you bring. Blast the leather, watch us do our thing. Custom gifts, the business lift, we handle it all. Watch your ideas rise, never see them fall. Burn to learn, share far and wide. Lights off engraving, we take you on a ride. YouTube videos to epic live streams. Crafting with lasers, helping fulfill dreams. Burn to learn. Burn to learn. Burn to learn for life.
What's up? I didn't even pay attention. I should have did the hat backwards with my glasses and
just quick grab mine and threw them on, put my hat on backwards.
I saw Jeremy do it, and then I did it.
Welcome, everybody.
How's it?
It's an impromptu live stream tonight.
Yes,
You know,
we have.
funny is I don't need my reading glasses with these on.
It's quite amazing that those things actually work.
And they work as reading glasses.
Yeah, Chicago Bob, Anthony, Jeff, John, Kenny, S Free, HTL is in the house. Kenny, Tiger's Eye, Jerry, Jack, Sergio, Sean, and Steve. Thanks for joining, everyone. Rich, I'm surprised you haven't swapped places with us yet.
I just did. Actually, Jeremy should go up there. There we go.
Oh, hey, cool. Works for me.
Yeah, I don't care. Wherever.
Well,
yeah, I guess
your podcast, so I guess you guys should be up there.
All right.
Whatever.
Well, Jeremy and I were talking earlier, and we just decided we should throw together a live stream and
Yeah, I wasn't even here.
put some info out, some tips and tricks, or some, I don't know. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. I was thinking about Jeremy. He's working on, he's been working on some AI videos and music. And you saw my AI music with lyrics that mostly I wrote. And then I did the video, of course. But the AI did the music and the breaks and all that good stuff.
Yep.
And Rich has one too that he's working on. I think he's going to play it if he gets things lined up.
I have the.
Harry?
Let me switch over to the LMR because I did a new intro for the LMR.
I just want to apologize because I got these guys all going down this music rabbit hole last week. when I found it. I shared it with them, and then here we go.
Actually, I thought I uploaded it, but I didn't. I don't think it's on this computer.
You didn't upload it?
But you have this one.
Welcome to the realm of the lasers being bright. Rich Patrick and Jeremy lighting up your night, cutting through the dark with the laser beam. We're really glad you could join the stream. We're the laser makers, we're setting the pace.
I forgot I made that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Some reason I
You
was
sure
thinking
did.
that one was yours.
Yeah, that was that's a good one.
I'm working on a frequency one right now, but it's not quite there yet. So maybe next time we get on here with the frequency podcast, I'll have it done.
So I wasn't even here when you guys did. I just walked in the door like 20 minutes ago. I was in the French Quarter all day. We were celebrating Mother's Day, and I didn't want to go on Sunday, Mother's Day, because the French Quarter is a mess on holidays, and especially we went to a restaurant called the Court of Two Sisters, which is probably one of the best restaurants in town, and I couldn't even get reservations for Sunday when I tried last week. So we wound up going today instead. And I am completely and totally full. It's a all you can eat buffet, but a lot of the stuff is cooked to order. It's like an upscale buffet. It's a lot of fun. They had the jazz music playing in the background and all. So I enjoyed that, but I just got here. I didn't even get prepared with anything. Although I do have a video dropping tomorrow on this, a 24-inch dream catcher that I made.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, you saw it here first, folks. Sneak peek.
Sneak peek at tomorrow's video. And
Nice.
Also
Cool.
did this one as well. There's actually 3 of them. I don't know if you can, let me make this a little bigger. See if you can see the writing on this one, but it's like 2 millimeter writing. Can you see that?
Yep, sure can.
Was that the one you put on Facebook earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dream catcher
In the short?
protector. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It says, I don't know. I am your dream catcher, your shelter in the night. I am your dream catcher, protector from fright. As if our minds were entwined, I catch yours and you catch mine. That's what it says on there, all the way around from here to here. And I made a few dream catchers using the array feature. So that was one of the features, was the array, and the other one was the Boolean assistant. So really what I did this for, if you see, both sides are painted. And I love, and when you're doing something like this, you want to be able for it to move in the breeze. So it moves really, really easily with any breeze that you've got. And the reason why is because I get this wood off of Craft Closet that's double-sided. So I love this wood. This is 1.5 millimeters, and it's perfect for doing dream catchers. So I did a video for tomorrow on how to use this wood, because whenever you paint wood and you let it sit for a while, see, on my wood, I always paint it and then I use it right away. I use the heat gun on it to dry it and then use it right away. But when you get this kind of wood online, when you get it, it's going to be severely warped. So, and these are severely warped. Here's let's see if I can get the warp in the picture.
Yep.
You see that?
I can see it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And it's like warped on both sides. So both ends stick up when you put it into the laser. And that's the way this wood always comes, is severely warped. But that's the nature of the game. You know, if you want to get this really thin, and I don't suggest anything higher than 2 millimeters. You could get 2 millimeter wood off of Amazon and paint it yourself, but this is just so much easier for me anyway. So that video is going to be live tomorrow morning, I think. Let's see, what day is today? Wednesday, Friday morning, maybe. Yeah, it might be Friday morning because I'm stuck here in the shop. I've got a lot of stuff to get rearranged next door because Jeremy's coming to visit.
24th, somewhere, 23rd, 24th, somewhere in there.
23rd or 24th. And I've only got like 10 days left to Jeremy is I'm going to give Jeremy my big CO2 from next door because I got the new Aeon signature series coming. So I have to make room for it, and it's a big job because the thing is so wide and so tall and heavy, and the one that's in there, and I've got so much stuff connected to it. I've got to get that all done and get it out the door, which is only 36 inches wide. So I have to disassemble it partially just to do that, and then try and get my two sons to come over here and get it through the door and out to the garage. So a lot to do in the next 10 days.
You guys should live stream that so we can watch.
Oh no, no, you won't want to. If
you
I
can just
did that, I'd have to turn the mic off.
I was going to say you could just set it on a constant beep, just constant sensor beep the whole time.
Yeah, I would have to turn the mic off for that because the language that's gonna go along with that video, getting it out the door. I'm sure my boys are not going to have fun doing that.
Yeah, I'm going to run a few tumblers while we're on the live stream. I have 6 to do, and they are for T-Body Auto Shop, which is where my truck went last week. But then I found out that it is being declared a total loss. So I won't get the truck back, but they'll get 3 tumblers or 6 tumblers with their logo on it.
I was kind of thinking that maybe we should do a question and answer for a little bit early on instead of jibber jabbering too much. If anybody's got any questions, we don't normally do that on the Laser Makers Realm till the very, very end, and then it's just a little bit of time left for it. But if anybody's got any questions or whatever,
I'll keep an eye on the comments. If you have any questions, just post them up.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I've got something else new in the shop too. That Z-Mod gonna raise the whole laser up.
Can't wait to see your video on that one.
I got the video on that one, and I've got a live stream coming up too in about 8 or 9 days or so, because I've got the new XW, so the laserMATIC XW. So I'm going to be doing the unboxing on that. It's actually stuck. It was stuck with FedEx at customs for about a week. It should have been here already, but it's finally on the move. I tracked it today, and it'll actually be here on what did I say? It was the 19th, maybe, or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Maybe the 19th. So that should be a fun video, and I did do some nice audio to go with that as well.
Cool. As you guys can see, that tumbler is sitting on a 3D printed jig or vise. Sorry, a jig. But it makes a great jig for doing tumblers, because you just adjust the vise in and out, and that adjusts the height so you can get the tumbler level and ready for cylinder correction with light burn. But that vise is, let me see. I need to post that online because it's not for sale. It's free. So I modified an original design that the guy had, and I'm not going to sell it unless somebody doesn't have a printer and needs some help printing it.
Yeah.
But and he was cool with that, but I'm not selling the file, giving it away.
Kenny, I couldn't put it in the garage because I don't have access to video and audio there.
Oh, the laserMATIC chuck roller rotary, the chuck rotary I got sent to me. It does not work with the Falcon. I have two female plugins that they don't like each other. So
yeah, there are several different ways around that. But when you come here, remind me of that, and I'll give you the adapter cables.
Oh, okay.
It only takes a minute to make them.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it or not because I got to cut a hole in the bottom of my box I built and then jack it up on some 4x4s, and I don't know. It's going to be a big rigmarole to use it for that Falcon.
That is exactly what this is for. So this raises the whole thing up and has the legs and everything. So that's what that Z extension mod is. It's a frame for the entire bottom of the laser.
Yeah. Well, right
Patrick,
now mine has a 3/4 inch piece of plywood in the bottom, so it's solid. And the box that I built's not tall enough to raise it. I screwed up.
Oh, and I need to do a video on the chuck rotary and tumblers with the laserMATIC. I've promised people I'd do a video on that, and I haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
I'm
have
so
you
far
seen what's
behind.
on the screen?
No rotary tool I use.
Yeah, he uses the rotary even if he's not needing to rotate it.
Okay.
Chicago Bob is saving up for the Mark III. By the way, for you guys that don't know it, MK3, that's the proper way to use it, that Bob just put in his comment, because that's text. But when you're reading it out loud, the spoken word, that actually translates to Mark III. I see so many people online that, or actually in videos, that are saying MK2. It's not an MK2, it's the Mark II. But the Mark III, it could be. I'm planning a trip to China for the release of it, my wife and I. So that trip is in January. So unless Leo tells me different, it looks like maybe the pre-order might be in December, but I don't think it's going to actually ship until late January. So I know it won't ship until after I'm there to do, because I'm going there to do the announcement, the live stream of the release of the Mark III.
The Mark III is going to be an XW?
Cool.
No, Mark III is going to be a regular. Well, you'll see, because I can't really tell you anything about it yet. There you go, Patrick. There's one for you.
Yes, I can do that. All right, I'm going to use my light switch analogy.
Yes, that was awesome.
So think of you're standing at a light switch and you flip your light switch on, so the light comes on, and then you turn it off and the light goes off. Now let's say you do that once every second. On, off, on, off. Frequency is the amount of time between those ons and offs. So that would be 60 per minute would be your frequency if you're doing it once every second.
Right.
Q pulse is how long. Q pulse is how long that light bulb stays on. Mm-hmm. So if you flip it on, but only leave it on for half a second, and then flip it off, and then you wait another second, flip it on, or you wait another half second, flip it on. So you're flipping it on and off. On is at the frequency interval, so it's flipping on, and then how long it stays on is your Q pulse. So let's say it stays on for half a second. Your Q pulse would be half a second that the light bulb's on. Your frequency is 60 times per minute, once every second. And therefore, you that analogy helps you visualize that if there's only 1 second between pulses, between your ons and offs, your Q pulse can never be bigger than 1 second because it's shutting on and off once every second. So your Q pulse can go lower than a second. They can go to, a millisecond, but it can never go bigger than 1 second. So that's the light bulb analogy to help you think of that. So Q pulse is how long the bulb's on. Frequency is how often it's being turned on.
Yeah, Steve. I can't wait to get mine too. So you can get your first look at it live on my channel when I post up that live stream notice. Bob says it will be, yes, it will be. Yeah, there's more to it than just that. So you're going to have the regular size, you're going to have the extra wide, you're going to have the 1064. So there's, there are more options available for the Mark III. And actually, some of those options are going to be applicable to the Mark II as well. So, yeah, there's a lot more coming on that. It's just a matter of what we can and can't say at this moment, because Leo doesn't want everything to be out there in the public yet, because a lot of it is still in beta and in R&D. So I got the whole summer to work on the R&D. There should be a lot more options coming out pretty soon. They do a good job on R&D at Rolly Automation, and that's important. That's like one of the most important things. I got this this laser from this weird name company, and I will say probably the best laser that I've seen, diode laser, short of the laserMATIC, is the Gluwphy, Gluwphy, GM1, and it's a fully enclosed. It's a fully enclosed laser. I would rate it above the X tool because it's got more features. The autofocus is easier to use, but it has almost nothing in the manual about using it. And there were so many things that I had to learn myself and figure out on my own, that nothing in the manual says go to our website and we'll tell you some things, like it's got the crosshair tool for positioning your wood, and the crosshairs were, had to be adjusted to like -13 and -14, and the honeycomb, even though it's fixed in place, which is the first one that I've seen other than the laserMATIC, it's not precision, so you can't get it to start in the corner. The honeycomb is bigger than the laser bed. It was just like a little bugs where they put almost no R&D into it. The R&D that they did put added a bunch of features that I guess they've seen people talking about on YouTube that they like in other lasers. But at the same time, they didn't take enough time to develop those features. They just implemented them. And, I don't even know if I'm going to do a review on it, because I might, they're crying and begging for me to please do the review, and that, I should have read their well hidden fact on their website about a lot of the little bugs that I found, but it shouldn't be well hidden. It should be printed right here on the front of this manual, or on the very first page. Go to this web address to learn more about the machine, because it doesn't explain any of it in the manual, and I had to figure that all out on my own. I spent an hour and a half figuring out all the little bugs, and then wrote to them and said, this thing's not ready for production yet. And they wrote back, and like they tried to explain their way through it, like with the honeycomb bed as an example. It's not designed to be used in absolute coordinates, and you're supposed to use the crosshairs. So that's not good R&D to me. If you're gonna do something like that where you have a fixed honeycomb bed, you should make sure that the honeycomb is going to start at the 0, 0 position. So you can use absolute coordinates, so lots of little things that everybody's tried to copy the laserMATIC, but nobody's been able to do it as of yet, because none of these companies will spend the time in R&D. And that's the one thing. Waiting for the Mark III is a good thing, in my opinion, because when you finally get it, you're going to get a machine that works straight out of the box, and it's going to do what it's supposed to do, and it's going to work the way it's supposed to work. And you won't need instructions. So, I mean, even though their machines come with the best instructions ever. Jason's saying, my Atom stack died, so just send it to me. I haven't decided yet, Jason, if I'm going to do the review on it. I guess in all fairness, they should have let me know all of these little idiosyncrasies about the machine before sending it to me. I think the thing that I don't like the most about it is that the honeycomb is second only to laserMATIC, fits into a specific slot. So it drops into a slot where you can't move it. And that's great. But they didn't put any other thought behind that, and they didn't raise it up. The machine's all plastic, so it comes also with an aluminum tray to put into that slot, into that rectangle. Then you put the honeycomb on top of it, but it's not raised up a little bit. So without it being raised up a little bit, what good is the full enclosure to get rid of all of the smoke? Because the minute you take the piece off the honeycomb, tons of smoke comes out of the honeycomb, rises into the room. So what good is having it fully enclosed if as soon as you pick up the material, the smoke is going to come billowing out from the honeycomb? Not only that, if it's not raised up and the smoke can't pass through, you'll get these little micro explosions where the laser beam, maybe let's say does a second pass on a cut, and the smoke is there underneath the wood. It could ignite it, and you could get this little micro explosion that can actually move your wood just a little bit and throw off the cut. And that's something that I've been talking about for a long time, is that you always need, if you have a honeycomb, it needs to be raised up off of the bed. So, and the air has to be able to flow through underneath. And on the laserMATIC, that's no problem. You got like 3 inches of space underneath, and you never get that problem. So, as Bob says, often imitated but never duplicated. So,
yeah,
that's absolutely true. Right from the X tool was the first to duplicate it try and duplicate it with the S1. That was a miserable failure. And then Atom Stack did it, and then a bunch of companies did it. I've even got a new company that's sending me their version of it in the next week or so. And nobody has been able to even come close. What they all should have done was buy one, and like every new product on the market, reverse engineer it and create something very similar. Because just trying to duplicate it from the photos online, nobody's done a good job of it yet.
I got to reboot. Lightburn crashed, generating an offset fill, and has my computer all wonky. So I'll be right back.
Okay, so folks, what Patrick just said, you have to be careful of too. If you have an offset fill on a project that you're running at, let's say 300 LPI or something like that, when Lightburn generates that project, if you don't have a really good computer, it's going to take a long time. And what Patrick probably did wrong was he clicked on the screen or clicked on something else while it was generating that, and it will crash Lightburn. So if you don't have like a gaming setup, something that's a high-end computer, when you hit preview or start, either one of those, it's going to take a long time. Don't preview. Make sure that you have it set up right. Just hit start and sit back and wait while it generates those files. It may take up to 5 or 6 minutes on a lesser computer. But don't click on anything. Leave your computer alone, or else Lightburn will crash.
Mine did that earlier today too.
Yeah. on an offset fill.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
you just have
accidentally
to
had it
sit
on
and
and I
wait.
didn't know it.
Yeah, you have to just sit and wait. You can't click anywhere on the screen once you start generating the G code. That's a lot of G code offset fill. So Jeremy, how long are you gonna stay for when you come?
Probably going to be like 3 days,
Okay.
if that'll work. I mean, I don't know. I honestly, he's still waiting to hear back. The guy that's coming down with me to go over to Texas is still waiting to,
Oh, you got two of you coming? I only have one guest room. The other
yeah,
room is another studio.
he's probably going to drop me off and scoot.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. Yeah, 3 days is fine. You can stay as long as you want. We can do a live stream from here.
There you go. I'm not wrestling any gators. My knee hurts. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. I just heard my office door open and close. That means my wife is coming.
I need your PayPal.
Okay.
I'm back.
I'm still trying to work on my Father's Day thing I've been trying to do, and I'm having a little bit of trouble. It's not cooperating how I want it to be done, so it's probably not going to be shown tonight.
Show off your newest air fresheners.
They are not here. I don't know where they at. I got this one. That one's in the shop. I did a Mini Cooper for a customer.
I think that would be cool if having those in the different brand insignias.
I have all of the car insignias if you guys want it.
I just don't know how. I don't want to
I mean,
advertise
vector
them because I don't want to get in trouble for copyright. So,
well, you can't get
just
in trouble for copyright if
advertise.
you're making it for yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you just say you have air fresheners in whatever logo you desire and somebody
Mhm.
desires a Ford, don't advertise.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, don't advertise it.
And then you see it and you think, wow, I want one of those for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I screwed up a little bit Saturday morning. I wasn't feeling good, and it was cold and windy, and I didn't feel like getting up and going anywhere. My wife definitely wasn't going to sit with me out in the wind, and I had some people show up at our show looking for me, so I packed some stuff in the car, and we went and made a house call about 22 miles away just to go deliver some stuff and let them look through it and see what they wanted. They bought some stuff, which is good, so.
Jerry, I think he's traveling about 14 hours.
It's 16 and a half.
16 and a half hours. Yeah. Yeah, Las Vegas is 2 days from here.
Yeah.
I don't like making that drive either. The last time I went there, my son was at the Air Force Base there in Vegas. He was stationed there, and we drove out to see him. First, we went to Utah, and then we went to Vegas. And I got to tell you that trip from Vegas to New Orleans is horrible, to say the least. There's like the midpoint where you're going to stop and get a hotel after 12 or 13 hours. There's like nothing. There are no decent hotels in the area. They're all like no-tell motels.
I was just reading that
Steve
one.
is saying, huh?
I said I was just reading this one.
Patrick finally got the laser unboxed. They sent a 193 millimeter lens. What? Instead of the 175.
93.
I guess I got an extra inch of area. Oh, Steve, it doesn't matter where the fiber lenses come from. They're all simple assembly, like 5 minutes or less.
The very first video I ever put up on this YouTube channel that I have was about squaring up all your stuff on your bed on the fiber laser before you go into your program and tweak all your stuff around. The closer you get it right off the get-go, the less you're going to have to move it if you have to inside your programming.
Yeah, and you're gonna need to go watch some of Patrick's videos, because there's a lot more to just assembling it. You know, you have to get your you have to bring in your core file that comes with the laser, and then you have to go in and tweak it, and you know, you got to adjust your lines and your corners and stuff like that. There's a lot involved in it.
Get your timings all set.
Yeah, the timings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple to assemble, but it's going to take you an hour or two to get all the software right. It's going to take you a lot longer to get the software right. And remember, you need a new license too if you don't already have it. So you need to upgrade your license to the fiber.
Steve, that's only 4.5 videos less than me. You're almost there. I watched videos for 8 months before I got my fiber laser.
Yeah. And you'll see that no matter how many videos that you watched, I mean, I have 2 other fiber lasers, and you know, every single one of them I have to go back and watch videos again. So even if you do it once or twice previously, it's still not like natural to set up a fiber laser. Hey, Jim. Welcome.
Yeah, Steve, I don't think you'll have any problem getting it put together. Just exactly what Rich was saying in Jeremy with the timings of getting your core file imported. Or doing new lens corrections in Lightburn, you could do that.
That's way easier.
But definitely Maker Theory's timing video is going to help you out a lot.
Yep.
So the image the trace that I was using for those cups, I realized that it's not that great. I did a demo cup for them, and this has been a long time ago, like well over a year ago, and it's not up to my standards. So I'm going to have to probably bring that into Photoshop, jack up the resolution a good bit, and then do another trace. I'm not going to burn any more cups with that crappy of a trace.
Why don't you just do it in Lightburn? Oh, you're going to be doing specific parts of it, changing parts of it?
Yeah, I'm going to make sure some parts don't get traced.
I got you.
Once I adjust the image, I'll probably, at that point, just drop it into Lightburn and trace it. But I can do that later. If I start up
Steve said he
Lightburn.
watched those videos today.
Oh, good.
Hey, Gordon.
Hopefully.
Welcome.
All right. Now I have no camera flicker with Lightburn open. Amazing.
Really? Wonder why.
Well, I have the camera tab closed, like camera window off.
Okay.
I'm thinking that's
now you know the solution.
Problem the whole time. Yep.
When you use Lightburn to calibrate the lens correction, be sure to screenshot the numbers they calculated, because mine doesn't automatically fill them into the machine settings. Okay.
Good tip.
Thanks for that.
I haven't used it since the first version of it came out in 1.5, so I'll probably need to try that out just to make an updated video.
Yeah, I seem to remember that mine did fill it out on this 60 watt.
Interesting.
I forgot what I was doing. I got to jump out for a minute, guys, because I got to go talk to my wife who popped in a few minutes ago.
No problem.
All right. I think I've got this to where I'm going to try to burn one and see what it looks like.
Your Father's Day?
Yeah. I actually ended up turning it into a professional wrestler's belt look thing. I'll see what it looks like. I don't know. They just, I don't know why I did it, but I did. We'll see what it looks like. It's probably going to look stupid.
Well,
What size is it?
give it a try and we'll see what happens. Gordon's asking, did anyone put their money on the new Rolly laser? So the laserMATIC Mark II extra wide. I think we did have 1 or 2 people in chat that did.
Mm-hmm. Sounded like it.
I know Rich has one on the way. Oh, there to do that. There we go. Get this opened up. I'll switch to my desktop just to show you what I'm going to do. If it decides to open. There, Steve did. Oh, carpal tunnels. That will slow you down a little bit, I would imagine. But hopefully that gets rid of the pain associated with it. So what I'm going to do is try and take this PNG and resize it.
All right, double check my settings, make sure I didn't screw anything up again. Okay.
Jack this up to 600 pixels per inch.
Whoa, that's not good.
I think I'll get a much better trace out of that. See what this does. That's not what it wanted. I'm going to quick export as a PNG. Let's take that to downloads. Yes. Take it there. All right, I think I'm going to get a much better trace out of this now because it was losing some of the fine detail.
All right, so this is going to take about 10 minutes.
10 minutes. It's a long time. Just up here needs fixed. Just to cut off a little bit.
George Lucas turned 80 today. Wow.
That's crazy.
Did you guys see the question from Keith? I'm back.
I just sat down and I was reading it. I don't have the CO2 yet. It's what I'm going to go down to see Rich for here in a week or so. I got a fiber and a diode, and right now I like them both. A lot.
I like the diode better for a couple of reasons. Because it's easier to use. I don't have to worry about, water or mirror alignments or any of that kind of stuff. It's easier to use. It's easier to clean. I get better results because of the 455 nanometer frequency. I get better results on wood, so I can get much darker burns. I can get just much better projects in general. And the CO2 is great for cutting, and the diode is great for engraving. It's sort of like if you had like an RF laser as compared to a glass tube laser, CO2. The RF is going to be much, much better in engraving than the glass tube is. So same thing with the diode. The diode is much better. You're flickering again, Patrick.
Yeah, that's because light burns up. I'm not surprised.
I don't see the camera tab though.
Nope. Nope.
When did you ever submit like a request to
No,
Jason?
I need to.
Because it might be a known issue.
I definitely need to.
Doesn't really bother me. Better than having a yellow screen like some people have.
That's looking a little better.
What's that little thing between the B and the O up there at the top? Does that need to be there?
Well, it's here in the original logo because it has
okay, where it
the
overlaps. I see it.
highlights and overlap. Yeah.
Kenny, that's Biden. That's not Lucas.
Is Biden?
Yeah, Kenny just said, come on, man.
I'm surprised Biden's even still alive. I mean, it's like he's not there. They give him some kind of drugs when he reads those speeches to the public. It's really strange.
He appears that he's on something.
Yeah, he's definitely on something.
The problem is it's only lasting about 35 to 40 seconds now instead of a couple minutes. Whatever they do when he goes on camera.
Yeah. And then he can't find his way off the stage.
Yellow stab. I'm slow, Kenny. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about either. What's a yellow stab?
Sure either.
I thought it was just me, the speed of the CO2, but the diode is better at engraving. The CO2, unless you have a really expensive CO2, it's not going to go much faster than the diode lasers can go nowadays. I mean, they're really they've really come a long way. Last year their maximum speed was 6,000 millimeters per minute, and this year it's closer to 50,000. So there's not going to be that much. By next year, there probably won't be any difference between the speed, unless you have, the servos on the CO2.
I greatly prefer a diode to my CO2. So if it fits on the diode and the diode will engrave it or cut it, it's going on the diode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing from you. I think it's just going to sit under my front window right there and look pretty until I need it to cut something.
I think that's about as good as this trace is going to get.
Actually, that'll cut clear acrylic, won't it, Rich?
Yes.
Okay. I have a few requests for some of those LED signs. So maybe I'll cut some stuff out with it.
Yeah, it cuts acrylic fine. It doesn't like some of the better lasers, although I've changed the lens, so it does now, but stock from the factory, that particular one doesn't polish the edges as it cuts. But
Chicago Bob, you are forgiven. We know what you meant.
for a person on a tight budget, what is the best, lowest cost diode to get set up and running in cutting and engraving acrylic? You know, I did a video on that, and you shouldn't be looking for the best, lowest cost. So they're all about the same. The cheap ones, there's not going to be much difference. On my forum, lahobbyguy.com, click on the forum. If you go over there, there's a 20-watt diode. I think it's a Acma or something like that, that sells on eBay for like $329. All of the cheap ones are going to be the same. I would highly recommend that you just put it off until you can afford something like the laserMATIC, because you're not going to get anything better than that. Yeah, Jerry, this machine that I'm giving to Jeremy, I think has a 28 by 36 inch work area, something like that. It's a big one.
It should serve him well.
Yeah. I haven't used that CO2 very much, not as much as I thought I would. In fact, mostly just for making videos. I made a couple of larger projects with it, but you know, most of those projects, like with the new XW that I'm getting from Rolly Automation, that will be able to do all of the projects that I could do on that CO2, just using print and cut with the double pass through. You know, I can actually make a 24 by 50 if I wanted to on the new XW. And even on this machine that I've got here, you know, I can do a 17 by 24, 17 by 30, 17 by 50, whatever I wanted, because it's got the largest pass-throughs in the industry at 17 inches wide and an inch tall. So I can even do like full 1-inch boards if I wanted to, as long as I want to, with the pass-through. I would say, Johnny, that you just save up for it and get the king of the diode lasers instead of settling for something less, because you're likely not going to be happy with something less, and you're not going to be able to do like really precision work. You know, on this machine, I can do a project, take it off the laser, and say, oh, well, you didn't cut through all the way. I can put it right back down on the bed, dock it to the corner, and run the job again. So, yeah.
Yeah, 806. I've been waiting to put an addition on my shop for 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
Let me see, 85. I should be able to do an 85 millimeter wide image on, or vector on, an 88 millimeter diameter tumbler. So that should come out fine. That looks much, much better. I can live with that.
But you still want to be able to read it all. Like when the tumbler is sitting in front of you on a desk, you want to be able to read the whole label. That might be, what is that, 3.5 inches might be too large. Keith, the king of the diode lasers is the Rolly Automation laserMATIC. There's nothing better on the market. Jeremy's going to find out because he's going to get one when he comes here. Just that looks great. That looks totally readable. That's perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
it's just the other tracing had those outlines, so it kind of looks like it's doubled, but not. It looks like there's an error with laser, but that's just those extra outlines. So I had to get rid of those, and it's much more smooth now. So hopefully
Well, we're glad you made it, Ed.
that
And
is
Eva.
better.
And Mikey. The laserMATIC.
You're not late. We just decided at the last minute to do this thing tonight.
Yeah, I was late. I didn't even see the text message until that you guys were doing it until after I got home. You're welcome, Keith. Patrick, can you drop a link in there to the laserMATIC in the chat?
Yeah.
It also helps if your diode's in focus.
Yeah.
That always helps. It does. It does.
The engrave looks beautiful being that far out of focus, but it didn't cut. So I have to run the cut again.
Yeah, engraving, what I do on my engraving is I turn up the power a little and defocus if I want like a really clean engraving, and that's what I do. You get the best engravings by going out of focus, raising the laser 1, 2, 3 as much as 4 millimeters.
I'm still playing with stuff like that, and this was an accident. I'm going to look at the results, so we'll see.
Yes, Steve, we do have a scheduled live stream. We do those every 2 weeks on the Laser Makers Realm, on all the channels, as a matter of fact. So yeah.
Yeah, so we will have one this Saturday at 8:30. Woohoo!
Yeah. So Steve, there's that link in the chat right now. If you want to go over and take a look at it, that is a what do you call those links? The channel will make a couple of dollars if you purchase it. Affiliate link. So
Yeah,
that is an affiliate link, and that'll put a couple of dollars in the channels.
Ed, I had a question for you.
And it won't cost you any more.
With the bamboo, you said one option was to flush into the infill, which I remembered that one. And then you said there was another trick to use, and I just was totally drawing a blank on it. And I was going to go back and look at that live stream, but I haven't had a chance yet. Do you remember what the other thing was, Rich?
I don't, but I remember it. I remember it. The conversation.
I remember there were two items.
I got to get this portable mic.
It's my first draft at a like a championship belt.
Oh,
I was going to say it looks like a championship belt.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have any good stuff for in here, so I just used the pattern that I had, and then I put these X's on real quick, and then this is what I was building today was these three. And then I just decided to put like a weird diamond-shaped thing in there, put a couple boxes on the end, and make it into a belt. I don't know. But you can see it's very charred from being out of focus.
Yeah.
You can put world champion and then underneath dad at the bottom, something like that.
Yeah.
You got Father's Day coming up. And
that way
don't forget,
like
if you're doing what Jeremy is doing there, you can always turn off the red layer, run your engrave, and then turn off the engrave layer and come back and run the cut.
Yep.
In focus.
I did that backwards though, because it cut and then it did the little squares in the middle after it cut, but it was up too high and it didn't cut through. So I turned off the engrave layers, focused my laser back down, and then ran the red layer again, the cut layer.
Okay. Maybe you and Ed and Sergio were talking about the same thing. So one was Sergio mentioned adjusting the flush amounts. Then Ed said he thought the second item was how to find it. So how to find your optimal flush amount and then adjust it downward.
Dad's Against Dirty Diapers. I like that.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Hi, Raymond. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
How's it going, Roger? And Sergio says yes. All right. Close. All right, I'm going to open up this file on this other PC. Hopefully.
By the way, this is the file that I was talking about when we first started the live stream that I'm working on here. And these are the dream catchers. And probably one of the hardest things to do is to get this text over on the left side there. Now, let me turn on that computer. This is on a different computer. So let me turn this on and I can move it a little bit and show you. There we go. So doing this text on a path right here is can sometimes be problematic, and that was probably the hardest thing to get right, was all of these sized exactly to this dream catcher over here. But
is that when you're messing with the horizontal spacing and stuff to try to get them right, as well as get the circle diameter right?
No, I had to actually create, you see these two lines here?
Yeah.
I had to create a new circle in between these two lines. So I created a new circle right there, right directly in the center.
Yep.
And then I did I aligned the text to the path. I turned it into a path. And then I just had to do some minor tweaking because once I got rid of the tool path, let me ungroup this for a second. Once I got rid of the tool path, well, now it ungrouped everything. Yeah, because this has already been changed to a vector. So once I got rid of that tool path, I was able to use the handles to get it exactly perfectly right. And the only part that needed to be adjusted was down here, just slightly. But these are not as easy as they appear to be, especially when you're sharing files with other people. So these are the three dream catchers that I'm selling in my store now.
Did you do a lot of node editing to get all that stuff after your
yeah
array?
So a lot of this was the first one was like here was drawing this shape, okay, this one shape, and then I was able to arrange that, you know, to do a geez, I'm at a loss for words tonight. I really don't feel very well. So, but I was able to do a what do they call that when you go around in a circle? Geez,
circumference?
No. I just copied it. I did an array, a circular array. That's what it is.
Okay.
Just this one shape right here, and then I had to go back and weld each of those shapes, and then I went in and I put these squares in here. So I drew out squares and arranged them right here like that, all within this area, and then selected them all and did another circular array all the way around. And the trick to that was just getting the space between copies down perfectly. But I did, you know, this one took me like 40 minutes to make. It was a long process.
Yeah.
And then I did a lot of node editing, if you see on the sides here, on this. A lot of node edit. You can see that this dip right here is not the same as that one. You see where it comes down here and then goes back up and around. You see that all the dips are different. So I did a lot of node editing with that. And the rest of it, this over here was just drawing out one and then duplicating it and mirroring it, moving that over there, then node editing and putting them together to that circle. And these in here were all, I just did them all on one side and then duplicated them, mirrored them, and dragged them over to the other side. So not a big. You would think that this would be a harder project, but this was the hardest one here. So,
because of the letters.
Yeah, and this was all the same process. So I just drew this out right here, this one piece, and then I did the circular array, but I lowered the space between them until they crossed like that. So you can see these are all the same all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just went back and welded parts of it. But yeah, the letters, were getting the letters to fit perfectly and line up from start to finish. I went online and I looked up Dreamcatcher sayings, and that's where I copied the saying from. And it was just, it took me like 5 minutes to get it perfectly aligned in there on the copy along path tool.
Looks good though.
Yeah, they came out pretty good. This one is the best because it's you see this blue line, this is the tool path. This is only a 12 by 12 piece of wood, yet when you get done and you actually run the job, you come out with this, which is like 24 or 26 inches high altogether.
Nice.
So you know, it's hard to believe that you can get something that's 2.5 or a little over 2 feet out of one piece of 12 by 12 wood.
Here, I'll show you the difference of what redoing that trace made. It's a huge one.
Oh yeah, big difference.
Oh wow,
big difference.
Yeah, so this one had all that extra stuff on it.
Yeah, it's hard to read that one.
Yeah, so by getting rid of it, I ended up with this.
Yeah, that looks really sharp.
Oh yeah.
How much are you getting for those?
20. Yeah, I think 20 each.
Linda just raised the price on the tumblers that she does for DHS and the sheriff's office and the police department, and the NOPD. They didn't bark at all at the new price. I was really surprised because she went up $3 on the price. It's at $18 now.
Tiger's Eye's got a question. I have an image that has no cut line, so I want to add a cut line to the outside. Isn't that
offset?
Offset, yeah. And then just size your offset so it's the right way you want it.
Yeah, do the offset on it. Select it, do the offset, and make sure you select outer shapes only. And then go up and down with the offset until you see the right size. And then after you click OK, put that on another layer because it'll completely block out your whole image.
So this is the same. Whoops.
All right, sit tight. I'll do it. There you go.
Gotcha. This is the same thing. I had all this border that I put together, and I wanted to cut it and offset it. So I just went into offset and did it how it looked, how I wanted it. And then I did an offset of that on the outside. You probably can't see it, but so there's a little, there's a little bit of offset that matches this offset wider. So
that's beautiful.
It's misspelled. That's why it's been sitting here for so long.
Why didn't you cut out the backer with the same offset?
Yeah, that's okay. Practice. I don't like the. I'm going to change the color a little bit anyway, but
I would cut out the backer to the same offset.
Yeah,
same type of offset.
Do that.
All right, so oh, that looks like the same thing. When I trace it, it traces the inside too.
But you can change that in there. It's inside, outside.
You just need to, well, I think he's saying when he traces it, it has to be grouped in order to do that offset properly.
Yep. And if it has offset traces on the inside, like you don't want them, like on this fist that I did, I had a piece right in here in the meat of the thumb. I just deleted it.
Ed saying, what did you start off with? Was it a dream catcher first? No, it was all from scratch. Actually, one of them was not from scratch. One of them is a file that I did about 8 years ago. It was a Corel Draw file that I converted to an SVG and brought it in. That was the first one that I started with, but I did design all 3 of them. There is a video, I thought it was yours, that was copy along path. I do have a couple of videos on that where I demonstrated that. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bob, sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not yet.
No, it's never no. When it's no, it's for a reason.
Yep.
So, something better will come along. That's something that I learned in life is if you don't get what you want, just be happy about it and keep moving on.
Well, it says when the request isn't right, his answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
So he's only going to do what's best for you. And
Exactly.
he'll wait for you to figure that out and ask the right questions.
Exactly. I'm going to go see if I can find that copy along path. I don't name my videos really well, which I'm starting to go back into the videos now to change the titles so that they're easier to find. Let me take a look and see.
I've done that with a few of mine. My titles didn't really reflect what the video was about.
Yeah, I've been trying to work on that. Yeah, so the name of the video is this one I did do. Aligning shapes, starting point, and copy along path. I think this is. Let me see. Yeah, copy along path, mirror across line, advanced toolbar, and circular array. It's all in one. In fact, let me. I will get a link to it as well. If I can get to that, because I've got this stupid thing in the way here.
Yeah, right. Ed, you can never make him mad, just sad. I do stupid stuff every dang minute.
I found that video. If you want to watch that, I'll put it in the comments. So that's my video that covers a bunch of different aligning shapes, starting point, copy along path, mirror across the line, the advanced toolbar, and the circular array. It's actually a really good video. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on that.
I don't remember if I did a video on the circle array yet or not.
The circle array is really fun, especially like if you're going to be creating I forget what they're called, but like infinity designs and stuff like that. Yeah.
The mandalas.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, mandalas. Mandalas are really hard to design. They really are. A lot of people think that they're easy to make. You know, for some people they're easy to draw, but in Lightburn, creating a Lightburn file, they're not that easy.
My light sucks. I did that with the circle array.
Yep.
It's on a black cardboard box with my fiber laser.
I find I get better results on cardboard with the diode laser.
I didn't have it when I did this.
Oh, well, you'll have a better one when you come down because you're going to get a laserMATIC too.
Cool.
Yeah, when we do the Laser Makers Realm, when we do the demonstrations, I think it's best for us all 3 to have the same machine.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You're going to see, Jeremy, when you get that laserMATIC home, how much easier it is to use over the one that Patrick sent you.
Yeah, I've been trying to save up and get one, but it's been a little rough this spring. So,
yeah, well, you got your feet wet with the diode. Now you're ready to upgrade,
and you'll also appreciate the differences between the 2 lasers as well.
Yeah. I think it's best to learn on one that's not as feature rich, and then step up to that later. So I know you
Ed,
gain a lot of experience.
I've got about 40 of them in the shop now, Ed. So if you come for a visit, you can take one home for sure. Not a laserMATIC though. I don't have any extras of those.
Wondering why the letter was so hard for you. I don't get that, Ed. What's that one? I don't get that one.
The lettering on my
Gotcha.
wind catcher.
Okay.
So that was hard because I was trying to do it on the outside circle by duplicating the outside circle, and it was just a mistake that I made. Instead of creating a tool path in between those two lines, I used the outer line and then tried to resize it, and that was why it was so hard. It isn't hard to do. It was just something I did wrong. Hey, Dimitri. Dimitri is for those of you that don't know. For those of you that don't know, Dimitri is the tech that is on staff in the Rolly Automation Facebook group. So they also have a really great support system. Dimitri is on staff with Rolly Automation, and he's their technician that'll help you with any problems. And also the owner and head engineer, Leo, of the company also participates there quite often, like daily. So if you ever run into an issue, most of them are going to be user errors. They'll help you solve that. And Dimitri will actually get on a Zoom call with you.
And
it's definitely the best support in the industry.
Just so you know, Dimitri, it is a 4-pin on my Falcon, but they're both female, so they don't match up.
Yeah, it's easy enough to make the new wiring, but you have to know the pin out of the old one as well. So if the old one has colored wiring, then it's easy to make an adapter. If it's all black wiring, like a lot of the new ones are coming now, it's almost impossible. I've done that. It's impossible to get it lined up. No, Ed, I got it lined up because of what I said before. By creating a tool path in between those two lines, and then it lined up perfectly, almost perfectly. I just had to adjust the height maybe a millimeter.
So, Jeremy, you just need a 4-pin female and 4-pin female.
I have 2. That's what it is now.
Well, it depends on the pinout, though. The pinout is likely not going to be the same on the laserMATIC as it is on the Creality.
Right.
And Tiger's Eye is saying, any spare fiber lasers? I thought about taking up Patrick on his offer of visiting the shop for personal instruction. I can probably borrow one of his. I have a Raycus 20-watt for sale if you're interested, but you'd have to be local because I'm not going to pack that in a carton.
I probably need to
you gotta rub some bacon on it.
I probably need to part with one.
Yeah, Dimitri, on these diodes. So I've got a bunch of them, and I've tried to swap rollers with different ones. And when I make up the cables, unless those cables are color coded, you know, they all definitely have red for the power, and they have black for the ground, and they have yellow for the data. But they're not always pinned out the same. So you'd have to either pull the pins out of one and rearrange them to match, or create a new wire, which is the easier way to do it with the right pin out. So yeah, I found there are 3 different pinouts that manufacturers use. So you have like a 33% chance that one roller will work on another. Five lasers. Anyone tried making bacon with their laser? Oh, I wish you didn't post that, Patrick. Now we're gonna have to watch Patrick make bacon.
Roger, I can't keep the pig still long enough.
I did engrave
bacon. That's a good idea.
I did engrave for a friend of mine some of those French cookies, and it was for I think it was a college graduation. It was a couple of years ago, and I did engrave the graduation logo, and you know what was it? 2021. So it was 3 years ago. I engraved the logo of the college and then the kid's name on the top, and then the date and stuff on the bottom on cookies. So I had to make a jig and do them one at a time. But they came out awesome. What are those French cookies called? The like really thick cookies? I don't know.
Croissants.
Not croissants, no, cookie.
That was the first French sounding word that popped in my head.
I'm in a fog today, folks. I wasn't feeling well yesterday, and the big brunch that I had with my wife today made me feel worse. What lens are you using, Patrick?
Let's see, 30 watt CO2 Galvo, 175 millimeter lens.
No, definitely not biscuit, Dimitri.
And that's with a 6X expander.
Okay, now I have to go Google this.
Yeah. So I'm going to put me over and show what I did. You said something about making a jig. I just did that today.
Macaroons.
There you go.
That's what they were. Macaroons.
So I have these keychains, and I need to be able to set it in place. So I just cut. I traced this with a magic marker or the permanent marker, and then I went into Lightburn and got my camera on it, and then I just made the circle in the little gaps where I needed them.
Yeah.
And then the head of this thing sits down into the
honeycomb.
The honeycomb, and so I made it just a little oversized so I could seat it back down in, and then it was perfect. It held it still.
I want to see you dance a jig while you're making a jig.
I don't. How do you? What's that? What's the jig? How do you dance one?
Let's see. I remember Bruce Willis dancing one at the end of the movie, The Last Boy Scout. Don't ask me if I remember that.
I don't remember that. I'll have to go back and watch that.
Oh crap! I forgot to change my camera.
Dimitri's saying, the macaron.
They're all done. They look nice and shiny.
Cool.
You got all 6 done already?
Yep.
Oh, I hope getting on and doing this live stream got you a little motivated tonight, Patrick.
Thanks for stopping in, Roger.
I hope so too.
Yeah, Patrick's got some stuff going on too that we're not going to talk about on air, but got having to do with his truck, and
I can show you that. So
yeah, the truck is history now.
Yeah, it's like the last time I'll ever see it. Had 11 good years with it. I just pasted that to my desktop. Now where to go?
What
Ed's
laser?
Saying, any ideas why framing is fine, but moves off when I hit start, and the round frame is dead on, while the square frame is okay. No idea. Are you in current position? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why that would happen. I've never had that happen.
So
a lot of people don't use absolute coordinates, and that screws up their actual burns. He tried all of them. Ed says, I don't know why it would do that.
I had minor-ish, I guess, fender bender back in January on black ice and slid right through an intersection into another vehicle, and finally got it into the shop last week, and here's the current condition of it. They once they got in, removed the bumper and the headlights and everything.
They found more damage.
Yeah, I guess the frame could have been fixed, but they had originally put the truck in as the wrong trim level. So once or not wrong trim level, but they missed some things when they did the estimate. So then whenever they fixed the estimate, then the insurance company wanted to total it. So That's what's happening.
Wow.
Same process to fix the stuff. They just wanted to triple the cost because of the trim level.
I think Ned's talking about the diode laser, but if you're not, this could be your answer. If you're using the crosshairs, if your laser has crosshairs, that could be right. Yeah. This new one that I'm testing now, it's the first diode laser I've ever seen with crosshairs. It was off by 12 millimeters on the X and 13 on the Y. Yeah, I didn't think he had crosshairs.
In the Atom Stack A24 manual, which I read thoroughly, there wasn't an LB set file on the USB and no documentation of the offset for the crosshair pointer. And let's see, I found it to be, I don't know what kind of laser you're talking about, but the Atom Stack.
He said he doesn't have the crosshairs.
Okay. Yeah, the pointer offset on it was 15x and 12 on the Y.
Yeah, and that's easy enough to do. If you're talking about the fiber laser, Eric, you'd have to be local to New Orleans because I'm not going to crate that up. It's the, it's got like the big computer on the bottom. It's the split, and then it's got the top, and it's heavy.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the truck.
Oh, the truck.
That's going to end up going to an impound lot and get auctioned off probably.
Yeah. Well, Patrick will have the option to buy it.
Yeah.
Probably very cheap.
Tennessee Wood Signs is asking about beam expander. That's on a CO2 galvo. I was doing that with this CO2 galvo.
No, I will drive to New Orleans from New York City you realize that's like a 15-hour drive. But if you want it, I'm going to be putting it up for, I think I'm going to be putting it up online for like $1,500, $1,400, something like that. It is a Rakis 20 watt.
Rakis.
Thanks for stopping in, Dimitri.
Thank you, Dimitri.
Again, Dimitri is the technician for Rolly Automation, and I can't believe that he answers questions like 24 hours a day. Dimitri,
he's always on. I don't know how he does it.
He was on the Facebook 4 minutes after I put the post up there about that rotary.
Yeah, yeah, and the thing is too, if you're a laserMATIC owner, he'll get on a Zoom call with you and find out exactly what's going on and get it fixed for you. I've not seen yet one post. I started that group, I guess, about 8 months ago, that Facebook group, and I have not seen one post in there that's gone unanswered and unfixed ever. So thank you for everything that you do, Dimitri. I know you're probably gone by now, but
that dude wears a cape. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
He's just that good.
He went home for like 3 months to Greece and was still in the group all the time. Even if I were in Greece, I don't think I would even be getting online. But yeah, no, I don't think I would drive 16 hours for actually 32 hours round trip for a 20 watt either. It has very little use on it. And it'll sell in one day in the Lasers for Sale Facebook group. If you guys ever need to sell a laser, I've sold about 8 lasers on that Lasers for Sale Facebook group. In the first day, when I post them, the first day, I'll get 4 or 5 answers from people in other states and then say, no, I'm not shipping. And then by the end of the first day, I've got somebody local that's, in fact, I sold my OhmTech 50 watt CO2 in 3 hours, and the guy paid me $200 to deliver it to him in Shreveport, so which is about an 8-hour drive from here. Yes, you're right, Steve. My wife's gumbo Jeremy, I'll let Jeremy tell you how good it is when he gets here.
I can't wait.
She's making a pot for him, but my wife's gumbo is the best. Even local Cajuns say that it's better than Cajun gumbo. Look at that. He's got nice little boxes for him and everything. You know, that's something that I got to get with Linda on for the tumblers that we buy or she buys for the other shop. They don't come with boxes. Almost 90. I've never seen them not come with boxes before, but when you buy them by the gross, they just have like a sheet of bubble wrap and they're standing up, you know, in the box, and there's just bubble wrap between them. We have to buy the boxes from that online supply company.
Uline or somewhere.
Uline, that's it. So we buy the boxes separately, but still, all in all, the tumbler that we get online and by the gross plus the boxes still come in at less than $8.
Oh, that's good. Can't beat that.
You can tell Jeff comes to our live streams every 2 weeks.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it until like a few minutes before it began, but Jeremy and Patrick got together today and said they want to do a pop-up live. We're not really doing anything in particular tonight, just hanging around and looking at comments and stuff like that. And Patrick was doing a job for a local body shop on tumblers.
Yeah, small job, but a job nonetheless.
I do want to promote for the new people that are here my new projects. A 24-inch dream catcher that comes from one 12-inch 12 by 12 piece of wood. And I've got tomorrow you'll be able to, Friday, you'll be able to see this video. It's got 3 files in it. One dream catcher there, one there, and the third one over here.
No, never mind. I was just going to ask you if you use the pass-through, but
no.
I saw your design.
Yep. Nope. All of them are designed for one 12-inch piece of wood.
12 by 12, yep.
And that's not only just a piece of wood, and 1.5 millimeter piece of wood like that. So this is the best thing for dream catchers, because
is that finished with Rust-Oleum triple thick?
No, I haven't finished them yet. They're just painted. The wood that I used for this was from Craft Closet, and that is 1.5 millimeter pre-finished wood, so it's pre-painted wood. But these dream catchers that I made are not finished with the Rust-Oleum yet. Here's another one here. This is the other one. Let me see if I can make this bigger. That is just the wood itself. So this is just the craft wood that comes from Craft Closet.
So that comes painted those colors already?
It comes painted that color.
Nice.
Yeah. But they're not cheap either. They're not cheap either. And I did find out something new today as well. See this little guy here? I was making a whole bunch of my new game, that coin drop game, and I'm making a load of them. So I did like 400 coins the other day, and a dozen or so boxes for them to go in. And this is the glue that I use, even though I use a tight fit, I use a large offset on the cut layer so that I hammer them together. When I'm giving them to people, I want to make sure nothing ever happens. So on this is filled with CA glue. And I found that if you take a cigarette lighter and you just torch the end right here, interesting enough, I always make sure that I squeeze out the air when I'm done doing a job. So when I'm done, I squeeze it out like that. Oh, this one is still unclogged. I squeeze it out like that and then suck it back in and squeeze it out and suck it back in. And that clears this little metal nozzle and it stays clear forever that way. But sometimes it gets a little buildup in there. So I just take the lighter and I put it over that, just like that, get it red hot until it turns red, and then squeeze it again to at the end of my job using it. And that works perfectly. And this will last you forever. You can't do that with the bottle that it comes in. So I have like a dozen of these that I got for like $4 on Amazon, and it worked. And I used to change the top on it, every once in a while. But yeah, this works much better.
It's a good tip for the tip.
You guys taught me about the offset tonight, and I'm so excited. I ran in and started cutting the 10 Commandments
nice.
out. Awesome.
Cool.
Good to hear.
That's good news.
Yeah, Ed, that is wood. You can use up to 2 or 3 millimeter acrylic as well. But the thing that I like about this is that using the 1.5 millimeter wood, watch what happens when I blow on it. Wait, let me get it straight. Just a little bit of air movement in the room is going to make this move around. Whereas the way I used to make them with 3 millimeter wood, they pretty much stay solid all the time. So the thinner the material, the better. I haven't found any acrylic less than 2 millimeters thick yet. I did put a link in the video that's coming up on Friday on this. I think it's on Friday. Let me just make sure. That one is scheduled for Thursday. Okay, so that video, let's see. I may not have posted that video yet. No, that's the precision positioning. I guess I didn't post this one for the Dreamcatcher yet. I thought I made that and posted it, but I didn't. Oh well, I'll have to finish making that. But I will post that on Friday.
Ed got so excited. Tiger's eye got so excited he forgot to focus and turn the vent fan on. Yeah, I forgot to focus time tonight too when I was cutting.
Yeah, hey, look, you're not the only one that does that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Patrick.
I'm just going to say the JPT M8 will cut glass. It's a fiber that will cut glass.
Mm-hmm. I've only seen one video online where it's doing that, though, and I can't even remember where I found it.
Well, pretty soon Brad's going to have...
look down over there. That's pretty funny.
It's funny. Yeah, but it's the JPT M8. Do some research on the M8.
Yeah, we have the M7, so we can't.
I have a friend who...
If it's pane glass, we can probably do it, but without the M8, you're not going to really cut any glass.
I have a friend who is going to be having one delivered shortly, so I'll get some video from him. And
yeah, and if you go online on YouTube and you search for cutting glass, you'll see there's a couple manufacturers that actually they don't tell you anything about it. I don't know why they make videos, but they make videos of it cutting glass. So there are a couple videos on YouTube on that. I was fascinated when I first saw it last year.
Yeah, I went out and grabbed a plain plate glass or pane of glass from the hardware store and brought it back here, and I tried and it shattered it. Yeah,
it takes a lot of passes for fiber laser, but the M8 can cut it in one pass without shattering it. But at Lowe's, they have this, I buy it a lot when I make picture frames. They have this pane glass, and it's like, I don't know if it's maybe like 2/32 of an inch thick, so you can get this really thin glass at Lowe's, and they will even cut it to size for you. I think the size that they sold it in was like 36 by 24. And then I told them I needed that cut into 6 by 6s and 8 by 8s, and they cut it right there on the spot for me. So I'm not good with one of those glass cutters, you know, the little wheel thing.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm not good with that, but they have one there that's like a commercial design where you know, they set up the jig for it, and then they lock a handle down and just pull it straight across, and it works like a dream. And then when they're done, they push down on it and it snaps that piece right out.
We are about what? Well, an hour and 40 minutes in. I'm going to have to jump off here and get some stuff done because I have to work at Sam's tomorrow and Thursday and Friday.
Is it possible to cut out sections of a coin? Yeah, sure. And yes, it is illegal. It's one of those laws that's never enforced. There's a law in New York City that you can't feed chocolate chip cookies to a horse from way back in the 1800s, you know, when there were all horses on the street, because it gave them diarrhea. It's not the name of the fiber, Ed. It's the source, the fiber source. So like our JPT MOPAs have a M7 source. If we had one with an M8 source, so you have to look at the specifications from different manufacturers and choose the right source.
Probably cheaper to buy a water jet CNC machine to cut glass with versus one of those.
Where do you see that? I don't see that comment. I would think that I wouldn't buy any laser from AliExpress because you're certainly guaranteed that you're not going to get any support from the manufacturer. Those people on AliExpress are all resellers; they're not manufacturers.
Yeah.
Most of the Chinese websites are all resellers as well. It's illegal to fly a kite in Chicago, yet they have the annual kite flying contest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are thousands of antiquated laws that aren't enforced anymore. But I don't know if somebody from the Treasury heard that you were burning money or cutting holes in coins, they might follow that up.
Yeah.
Although it looks like the government doesn't do their job anymore anyway, unless you're running for a political office.
I just tell them to stuff it. They keep printing it, so why can't we do what we want with it?
Yeah, and there was a case a long time ago where somebody burnt money, and I don't even remember where I saw this or heard about this, but they were prosecuted for it because they burnt money and they put a video online.
They probably wouldn't get in trouble for it now, though. They can do anything.
It's illegal to take a bath between October and March in Indiana.
I think it's illegal to spit on a sidewalk on a Sunday afternoon in front of a mother with her children, too, in Michigan here.
I'm not recommending this laser, but there's an example one for you. It's a, I think it's a 20 watt M8.
I wouldn't expect that a 20 watt is going to cut through glass either.
The M8 will.
20 watt?
I'm not sure of the thickness limitations.
Yeah. Or like if you got to do, 400 passes versus, 150.
Well, the M8s will usually do it in one pass if you have the right machine.
If these they're very compact. The M8s. I know JPT on their YouTube channel has a video of one cutting glass.
This one says 100-watt fiber M8 JPT for marking, drilling, and cutting glass.
I would think that it would need to be, 80, 100 watts, at least to do it in one pass. Yeah, that's Patrick. He gets those little audio garbles every once in a while.
Oh, it was playing the video, and I forgot to
Okay.
hit pause. It doesn't say which M8 that is. It was cutting 3mm glass.
Yeah, Johnny, defocusing just means going out of focus, either up or down. When you're doing engravings, you want to go up with your focus the laser and then raise it up 1 to 4 millimeters. You get all different results: 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, 3 millimeters. What I do is I'll take a piece of wood like this and just put it on top of the focusing tool, and this will be 3 millimeters higher. It'll raise it 3 mil. That works well for me for engraving. It says Cloud Ray. Ed's saying Cloud Ray is a good brand. I would buy it from their website. I wouldn't buy it from Amazon, because Cloud Ray does give you issues with support if you don't buy directly from their website. So I bought lots of stuff from Cloud Ray, and when you buy it off of Amazon, you don't get the same support as you do when you buy it off their website.
I'm going to put JPT's email address in there, because apparently that's the only way to find more information about the M8.
Yeah, the only thing I'm ever seeing come up on anything that I've Googled about glass with a M8 is all 100-watt.
Yeah, I think, you really need to have.
Cloud Ray basically sources parts and then puts their machines together like a lot of the other companies do. They don't really make anything.
Well, none of the companies really make anything. They're all source parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see anything on it. 20-watt M8 JPT MOPA is on cloudray.com. Cloudray, I think it's cloudraylaser.com. They don't have the link here.
But yeah, I'm going to have to jump off here. I got a few things to do.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I wasn't even thinking of being here tonight. So we're going to end the stream, guys.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
Cloudray does not equal Zenith. I don't know what that means. It's cloudraylaser.com.
Cloudray. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yep. Thank you.
We'll see you Saturday night, 8:30.
Saturday night, 8:30. We will be back.